When you think of Africa, what comes to mind? Savannahs, wildlife, maybe poverty, deserts, or political instability. But what if I told you there's a country on the West African coast that has the best skyscrapers, smart cities, 4-lane highways, clean streets, and a nightlife that rivals Miami? Welcome to Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire as the French call it. The African country you've probably never heard much about, but one that might just shock you with how developed, diverse, and dynamic it is. This isn't the Africa you see on the news. This is the hidden powerhouse of West Africa, a country bursting with culture, wealth, innovation, and natural beauty. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be wondering, why isn't everyone talking about Ivory Coast? Watch this video.
Africa Scope.
Ivory Coast is a country in West Africa, bordered by Liberia, Guinea, Mali, Burkina Faso, Ghana, and the Atlantic Ocean. It has a population of around 29 million people, and its largest city, Abidjan, is a thriving metropolitan hub, often called the Paris of West Africa. The capital city is Yamoussoukro, home to one of the largest churches in the world, like the Basilica of Our Lady of Peace. Ivory Coast is one of the most urban countries in Africa, with well-planned cities, wide boulevards, modern architecture, and a fast-growing middle class. But it hasn't always been this way. This nation was once colonized by the French, endured political instability and civil war, but has risen from the ashes to become one of Africa's fastest-growing economies. Let's talk about Abidjan, the beating heart of Ivory Coast. With over 6 million people, it's the country's largest city and economic capital. Think of it as a West Africa's answer to Johannesburg or Lagos, but with a French-speaking twist and palm trees lining the streets. The Plateau district looks like it was plucked out of Europe, full of modern skyscrapers, financial institutions, embassies, and luxury hotels. Then there's Côte, the upscale residential and diplomatic zone, home to embassies, villas, and universities. The city's infrastructure is surprisingly advanced. It has modern highways and bridges, a growing metro system, reliable electricity in most urban areas, and high-speed internet coverage. For nightlife, Abidjan has it all. Rooftop bars, live music venues, open-air lounges, and beach clubs that go until dawn. And don't get us started on Ivorian food. From atike and grilled fish to aloko and spicy stews, the cuisine here is a party of flavors. Here's the part that really blows people's minds. Ivory Coast is one of the most developed economies in sub-Saharan Africa. With a GDP of over $80 billion, it's the third largest economy in West Africa after Nigeria and Ghana. Now, what drives this country? Ivory Coast is the world's largest cocoa producer. Every time you eat a chocolate bar, there's a good chance it started here in Côte d'Ivoire. The country has developed offshore oil and gas reserves that fuel its industry. Beyond cocoa, it exports palm oil, rubber, cashews, and coffee in large quantities. There's a growing tech scene in Abidjan, with incubators, mobile startups, and fintech projects earning the city the nickname Silicon Lagoon. With roads, railways, bridges, ports, the country is building at a dizzying pace, with support from China, France, and regional partners. And let's not forget the port of Abidjan, one of the busiest in Africa, handling goods from landlocked neighbors like Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso. Ivory Coast is also inventing big in the future. New cities are being planned, like Abidjan's Aero City, designed as a smart, eco-friendly business and residential zone next to the international airport. The Henry Konan Bidi Bridge is a marvel of African engineering, a 1.5-kilometer cable-stayed bridge that connects parts of Abidjan, easing traffic and linking major districts. The government is pushing digitization, introducing e-governance, cashless public services, and investing in fiber optic networks. Even rural areas are getting solar-powered streetlights, improved water access, and better road connectivity. Beyond the economy and buildings, Ivory Coast is a cultural giant. This is the birthplace of Coupe de Cal, a unique music genre blending Afrobeat, dancehall, and Ivorian slang that took over African airwaves. The late DJ Arafat, one of Africa's biggest musical icons, hailed from here and left a legacy of sound, style, and swagger that lives on. In cities and villages alike, music and dance are a daily part of life. You will hear rhythms from over 60 ethnic groups, from the Akan to the Kro, echoing through markets, weddings, and streets. And yes, art is thriving. Abidjan has a growing contemporary art scene with galleries, fashion weeks, and designers making waves from Paris to Dakar. Ivory Coast isn't just cities and cocoa, it's full of natural wonders like Grand Bassam, a UNESCO World Heritage Town with colonial architecture, beaches, and resorts. Tai National Park, one of the largest remaining primary rainforests in West Africa, home to chimpanzees, pygmy hippos, and rare birds. Mount Nimba, bordering Guinea and Liberia. This mountain range is rich in biodiversity and breathtaking views. Sassandra and Assini, both beach towns that feel like tropical paradise, with surfing, boating, and luxury stays. And Yamoussoukro Basilica, the tallest church in Africa. Tourism is slowly growing, with ecotourism, cultural festivals, and urban experiences attracting adventurous travelers. So why isn't Ivory Coast a global household name? Simple, the media doesn't talk about it. For years, headlines focused on civil wars, coups, and political tensions. The 2022 and 2010 conflicts damaged the country's image, but that's not the whole story anymore. Since 2011, Ivory Coast has been on a path of recovery, reform, and reinvention, and yet few outside Africa realize just how far it has come. This is Africa beyond stereotypes. It's modern, proud, peaceful, and on the move. Ivory Coast isn't perfect. It still faces poverty, inequality, and political tensions. But it's also one of the most inspiring comeback stories in Africa. A country rich not just in cocoa and oil, but in vision, resilience, and identity. It is the developed country in Africa that you probably never heard of, but now you do. So next time someone paints Africa with one brush, tell them about Ivory Coast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below what you ever heard of Ivory Coast before today. Thanks for watching.